Hey guys, it's Stevie on here with Keller Williams in Jacksonville, Florida, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 books that I have read recently since the coronavirus has happened, and I think it'll be really beneficial for any real estate agent. It's super informal video, which they usually are pretty informal, but let's just get right into it. So the first book that I want to share with you is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I used to have this in a hard copy, but I have it on Audible, and I'm constantly listening to the book while I'm in the car, and it is such a great book for anybody. It's been really beneficial for me personally, professionally, because we aren't taught how to be social, how to deal with different personality types. And I think that this book has really made it easier for me to be able to talk to anyone and everyone. You have to be very personable in this business. And the book gives you so many tips and suggestions on how to keep the conversation going, how to not have any of these awkward moments. But I made some notes here too on each book that I just want to make sure that I share with you. So, basically, I made a couple notes on that this book is really helpful on how to learn how to make people like you, win people over in your way of thinking, way to change people without arousing resentment, and how to be a leader. So I just feel like we aren't taught any of these things, and I just think that this book provides so many amazing tools. It's my #1 just all-time favorite book ever that I think everyone should read. So, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is #1. Okay, the second book that I want to share with you is Shift by Gary Keller. He is the founder of Keller Williams, and I got this book immediately as soon as the market, we were hearing word of that the real estate market was going to be changing. I got this book immediately and just started diving in, highlighting all different things. And I think this is a great book for any real estate agent to read, especially right now. But you know, we're experiencing a market shift, and there will be another market shift again, and it's great to just hear what Gary Keller has to say about the different market shifts that he's experienced, and what he did to survive and to get out of it, his mindset, how to find motivation, how to do more with less. He dives in a lot about cutting expenses, what expenses to cut, what to keep, pricing ahead of the market, creating urgency, bulletproofing the transaction. A quote that I wrote down from the book of something that he had said was, if you can shift gears, shifting both your thinking and your tactics, you will accelerate ahead of the rest. And I just feel like when I knew things were changing, that I wanted to shift, I wanted to pivot as quickly as possible. And this book has been really, really crucial. If you haven't read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which I'm sure a lot of you have, that's also written by Gary Keller, I recommend that one as well. But especially during these times, you need to be reading this book. And like I said, it's reassuring that he's gone through market shifts, and just to hear about how he survived through that. Okay, the third book is Tenx by Grant Cardone. I don't have a copy of it. I've only ever had the Audible version. And this is one of my favorite books to listen to in the car, because you know Grant Cardone's voice, and he is just aggressive. He is such a go-getter, extremely motivated, and I feel like this is the perfect Audible to listen to when you're headed to, especially a listing appointment, but showings, a buyer appointment, just gets you really hyped up. And he has some amazing tips and tactics in this book. You know, he's really aggressive, and in my honest opinion, he is salesy, and he goes for the sale. He is about gaining market share versus customer satisfaction. He says that in the book several times. So there's some things like I don't necessarily agree with and what I want to implement in my business, but man, I have gotten so many golden nuggets from this book, and I think that every real estate agent, anyone in sales, needs to read this book. But I made a couple notes on here. Like I mentioned, I just get so fired up listening to Grant Cardone's tone. You know, he he says how the biggest mistake most people make in life is not setting goals high enough, not 10xing their goals, their efforts. The 10x rule is based on understanding the level of effort and the level of thinking required to succeed. The book explains how you can use big thinking and massive actions to create unstoppable momentum for phenomenal success. Topics in the book are just taking control of your life and not competing but dominating, build omnipresence, going all in, expand, never contract, do what you fear. Let's see, I expect criticism. And I just think this is a great book. Like I said, I love the Audible version. I love listening to it on my way to an appointment. Gets you really fired up. Next book I'm so fired up to share with you about is You Can Have It All, but Just Not at the Same Damn Time. This is so good. Go buy it right now. I'm going to do a review on just this book. Any woman has got to read this, and I think will resonate with anyone. But I'm going to do a review on just this book, so I'm just going to dive in on some of the basics of it. The author is an extremely successful businesswoman who is a leader. She is married. She's got 2 kids. She has seriously goals. And, you know, she just really dives in on how, you know, as women, like, we just have such unrealistic expectations. We're so hard on ourselves. And we have this idea of how, you know, how much we're supposed to accomplish. What is our life supposed to look like? Who are we supposed to be? Who, you know, we listen to these voices in our heads, and we look at social media so much, and we compare our lives to other people's highlight reels, and you know, how we aren't running our lives, but our lives are running us. And, you know, we are ambitious and we have goals, and we just let these things deter where we really want to be in life. And it's so amazing. There's a lot of really good exercises that I want to share with you about, but I'm going to save it for my review. So stay tuned for that, because it probably is not going to take like another day or 2 to finish this. It's that good. I just don't even want to put it down. So I highly, highly recommend getting this book. Okay, and then I wanted to share with you this book, Cinder Girl. This was written by, this is not necessarily a book for a real estate agent. It's just like a good book to read that literally took me 2 days. And I came upon it because it's written by a woman that I went to high school with. And, you know, she wrote this book, and I knew that she had a difficult life, but I didn't really know the extent of it. And so it was just so interesting to see how she grew up and her life. And she has an amazing story, and I just think that, you know, we all go through struggles, and we all have our thing in our lives or things that might be holding us back, but when you just see how someone had it so much worse, it really puts things into perspective. So Cinder Girl by Christina Meredith, I highly, highly recommend. So one last thing real quickly that I'm going to share is, because I get asked a lot, is about this Grace and Gratitudes book. It's 100 days of grace and gratitude. It's a devotional journal. Every day there is a little story, and there's scriptures, there's a prayer, and a space for you to journal for that day. And I love having this part of my morning routine and incorporating this. It's such a great book, and I highly recommend. So I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do another video like this, if you end up reading these books and you end up loving them. I would love to hear any feedback. If you have topic ideas, keep me posted, and I hope you guys have a great day.